Hi everybody, this is going to be a matrix tutorial with a Dragonstaff. It's a little bit easier learning matrix with a Dragonstaff because it won't roll down your body when you get over here. This video is made specifically for Jenny Jenkins. Hi! The number one thing I want to make sure people do when they do their matrices is where they have the most trouble is at rolling down their sides of their rib cage. So when they start the matrix here, if they don't have their arm back enough, it tends to roll down the body. So you really want to make sure that once you start this arm propeller, you want to point almost to the complete opposite wall. So then when it sits here, opposite wall over that way, I let go, it's not rolling down that quickly. Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing is when you do your arm propellers, you don't have to be centered. A lot of people are like, what happens if this gets off-centered? Well, if you hold a Dragonstaff and you hold it not in the center, but up here, and then you start spinning in a circle, you'll notice it automatically starts flattening out. So one of the things you can help just start your dragon at the very beginning is when you do your shoulder propeller over here, is rather than aim super close to the center and it kind of like start to go wonky, if you have it a little bit further off, like here, and then you start bringing it around, notice I'm just holding this kind of by my fingertips and do this, notice it flattens out automatically. So as long as you have good grip, then it should automatically flatten out. So I found my favorite entrance happens to be my non-native shoulder entrance. We'll give you a couple of links to help you drill every single section, but the reason for me is because now I'm using my native hand, I'm right-handed, to throw this over into my first propeller. Okay? The key here thing is making sure you get your hand all the way over your head. So all the way over your head. And then it'll pop up neck, neck. So that's drill number one. Drill number two is going from your back of your neck to your native shoulder. So notice it's going on the back of my neck and coming around, and then I'm going to take this arm and I make sure I push it this way. Now I do a small little cheat here. I let it actually come down to my armpit. So when this comes over and I leave it up here, all of a sudden I have to throw that shoulder in, and it takes a little bit of work. So one way I cheat it is it comes down to here, I let it actually stop before it comes back on my shoulder, leaving it on top of my bicep, or my tricep. So now when this comes around, I can use more of an arm propeller and a shoulder propeller, rather than trying to force my entire body around. Another thing you can do is once you come up here, if you come too high, like it's all the way against your neck, is dropping your shoulder down, letting it rotate, and then going into your shoulder propeller. All that together, the neck wrap, the drop down, shoulder across. That's drill number two. Once you can do it from the back of the neck to your native, next thing will be your native side. So I'm starting with my native shoulder propeller. Same thing, I'm not starting too close to the center, I'm actually getting a little bit further away. So then when I bring this around, I now have it coming up in front. Okay? So then this side will automatically bring this where this clears the neck. The second it clears the neck, I'm pushing it over to the other side of the neck. One more time. Right here, up, around, neck, neck. And the last link is going from your front of your neck to your non-native shoulder. This one should be pretty easy for people. Some people prefer starting here because you get to start it in this strong grip against the back of your neck, tossing it over your neck, into your shoulder, back up on the other side. And you'll notice I cheat this kind of the same way, where rather than coming all the way up onto the neck and then trying to drop it down into the armpit, I bring this around and let it just end a little bit early, or a little bit closer to the shoulder. So I let it drop here rather than up here, and that gives me a little bit more oomph to power it through. Once you can do each of those sections, you link them by threes. So shoulder, neck, shoulder, shoulder, neck, and then shoulder. Add an extra duck out there, sorry. Neck, shoulder, neck, neck, shoulder, neck, shoulder, neck, shoulder on the front side. Oops. So the shoulder, neck, and then shoulder at full speed. Hopefully I don't hit my ceiling. This one's a little bit awkward of an entrance, and then neck, shoulder, neck. This one's usually the easiest for people. So neck, shoulder, neck. Once you get that, linking the whole matrix together isn't particularly hard. You have all the pieces. If one of those 4 sections ends up being really difficult, that's the one you want to drill. And then after that, you should be able to get at least 2 or 3 matrices in a row. If you're having trouble powering through your matrices, there's this push point there, as well as this neck push pinch. Each one of those will help you add extra power once your matrix slows down. So now how to do a matrix with a dragon while it's rolling. The only key thing here is just keep it rolling. So you want to make sure that the Dragonstaff is rolling towards you on your arm, like that. So then when you throw this, you'll notice it's rolling towards your arm, up your arm, and then coming up to your neck. So now it's also rolling towards you on this arm. So it's rolling towards you every single time. So it rolls down the arm, up to the neck, then down the arm, up to the neck here, and then once again, you can end it in a reverse chi roll. So if you start from a reverse chi roll, bring it down, and you bring it down on your shoulder, drop it on your shoulder, it'll come down on your arm again, come back towards you, and then you can go back into your reverse chi roll. Should look something like, or let me say, if I get this correctly, in, and back to reverse chi roll. Hopefully that helps you, Denny.